This is the segment on rigging and tuning the Interlake. One of the great things about the Interlake is how easy it is to pull behind the vehicle and rig. With its unspreadered mast, just 3 shrouds and you're ready to go. The boat you see here is hull number 1417. It is the latest from Custom Flex Incorporated. Terry Kilpatrick, the owner of Custom Flex, has worked really hard to simplify and enhance the Interlake over the years. I've had the good fortune of owning a number of Custom Flex boats over the years, and with each one I've enjoyed a number of enhancements to the rigging, but one thing that's held true is how easy they are to put together, how easy they are to sail. As I unpack 1417 and get her ready for sailing, I'm amazed at how few pieces there are in putting the boat together. This is one of the true benefits of sailing in the Interlake class. You can travel to any regatta within a short period of time, rig, and go sailing within 15-20 minutes. The Interlake class has a series of regattas throughout the course of the Midwestern summer, and all of those regattas are within a 300-mile radius of Toledo, Ohio, which is my home. The regattas are truly a lot of fun, very friendly competition, and the boats are equally matched, which makes the racing very tight. Once the mast is stepped, there are only a few things that you need to do to get the boat ready for racing. Tuning the mast is a breeze. There's no need for a large toolbox with lots of moving parts. All you really need is a luge gauge and a tape measure. We use the tape measure to measure the rake of the boat and the side-to-side straightness of the mast, and the luge gauge to measure the tension of the rig. Let's start first with the rake. Our target number is between 25 feet 3 inches and 25 feet 6 inches, so you'll need a 50-foot tape measure. We're going to start by hoisting the tape measure to the top of the mast. Once the tape is fully hoisted to the top of the mast, you want to be sure to clip it into the halyard clip that has the halyard all the way up to the band. Here's a closer look. Because the bands on the mast are controlled by class rule, it gives us an accurate measure of the actual rake. Once you have the halyard in the right position, simply walk to the back of the boat and check the rake measurement based on the flat of the back deck. Here you'll see 25 feet 3 inches. After I check the rake, I like to check the side-to-side dimensions to ensure that the mast is square in the boat. To do this, measure down to the chain plate, which is a through bolt through the side of the hull. Walk over to the other side of the boat and see if the measurements correlate. It's not uncommon for the measurement to be off just a little because many of the main halyard sheaves are placed on the side of the mast. Be sure to inspect that before you take these measurements. Once all the measurements of the mast are taken and I'm satisfied, I then check the luge gauge tensioning. You'll want to consult your tuning guide, but a good target number is between 180 and 220 pounds. Once you get the side shrouds to 180 to 220, you'll then want to double check your forestay to make sure that it correlates. It should read lighter than the side shrouds. Once done, I'll grab my handy roll of white electrical tape and really go to town in making sure that all of the pins are taped, making sure the tension lever is taped, and making sure that there's no sharp objects that'll rip a spinnaker or cause any sort of failure in the rigging. There are a number of position settings on the high field lever of the Interlake. Make sure you tape all of the O-rings, make sure you tape all of the clevis pins. I like to tape the lever shut so that once the tension's off the forestay, the lever can't open. Same is true on the side shrouds. Make sure you get the top pin and the bottom pin fully taped. I do like to use the white electrical tape because it's better than the black in that it doesn't leave residue behind in the hot summer months. Now that everything's taped, we're ready to go sailing. Before we hit the water, we're going to take a little tour of the rigging of 1417. Here you see three of the primary controls of 1417. The white line is the centerboard. It's important to have a good free-running centerboard pennant because you're going to be adjusting the centerboard up and down, not only upwind, but downwind and on the reaches as well. This blue line is the boom vang. The boom vang is very important to the Interlake. The mainsail is so big that your range of vang upwind, reaching, and downwind is pretty great. So you want to make sure that it's running free. And the gray line to the right is the main sheet. Obviously that controls the balance of the boat. You want to make sure that all these lines are good running lines and that they're ready to go before you leave the dock. Let's go sailing.